Hi, here's some, welcome to our first lesson, and this one is optional. If you already know how to do these problems, just go ahead and get started. This is if you just need a quick review. There's so many different ways that your teacher might have shown you how to do this last year. I'm going to quickly go over 3 different methods. If you don't need this video, you already know how to multiply and divide fractions, just get started and scroll to the end of this video because I'll show you an answer scramble of the answers for that day 1 work. The packet goes over this method where you take each number and break it down to its primes. To break it down to its primes, you need to do those little factor trees. 4 is 2 times 2. You stop when it becomes a prime number. Those numbers came here. 15 and 16. I've broken down all those by trees, and then anything that's on the top makes an equivalent of 1 with anything on the bottom. And you just make equivalences of 1. You are really dividing the top and the bottom by that same number. So what you're left with is your answer. So this is 3, and this is 2 times 2, which is 4. Done. Another method of doing this that your teacher might have had you do is just multiply straight across. 4 times 15 is 60, and 5 times 16 is 80. And then I just reduce that. I can divide by 10. Whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. And when I divide by 10, I'd get 6/8. And then I can go again. I can divide by 2. Whatever I do to the top, I do to the bottom. This gets me 3/4. Same answer because it was the same problem. The last way of doing this is cross-canceling. Some of your parents may have shown you how to do that. The big thing to remember on cross-canceling is whatever you divide the top by, you need to divide the bottom by. Here I see that 4 is divisible by 4 one time. 16 is divisible by 4 times. I've divided by 4 on the top and divided by 4 on the bottom. This is divisible by 5 one time. This is divisible by 5 3 times. This method is called cross-canceling. It's a shortcut that someone might have shown you. This is the way that most of you were probably taught in 6th grade if you went here. If you went to a different school district, they might have shown you method 3. Number 10, one review of kind of like the Mac Daddy problem. The Mac Daddy problem here is harder because it's a division, and when we have dividing, we need to remember that you multiply by the flip or the reciprocal of this number. Before we get started, we have to do this step that's a little pain in the tushy, where you multiply these 2 numbers together and then add on the numerator. So it kind of looks like a little tushy right there. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So this would be 7/3. And then I'm still keeping the division because right now I'm just making them improper. I'm going to multiply and add. This one is 7/2. I multiplied and then added that on. Now I'm going to do the keep, change, flip step. So I'm going to keep this one. This I'm going to change to multiplication, and I'm going to flip this one upside down. This is the one that becomes the reciprocal after you've made it improper. And now all of these numbers are prime, so I could call this a method 1 or a method 2. There's a 7 on the top and a 7 on the bottom. I'm going to multiply straight across, and my answer for this problem is 1 times 2, which is 2, 3 times 1, which is 3. Let me show you an answer scramble. I do this quite often. These are all of the answers to our homework for your asynchronous learning, which just means your work on your own for today. These are the day 1 worksheet answers. It's possible that I missed one, and they're mixed up. This is a scramble. So let me zoom out just a little bit there. Pause the video if you like here and go ahead and get started on your work.